Hello everyone, this is Grade 3, Module 5, Lesson 17 homework. Directions for number 1 say, locate and label the following fractions on the number line. So I see that all of these fractions are in halves, meaning that's my unit. So between the whole numbers, so 0 and 1, I'm going to break it in half. 1 and 2, I'll break it in half. And 2 and 3, I'll break it in half. Now I'm going to label these. Just to help me out with it, so 0 over 2, this is 1/2 right here, and that's one of my labeled ones. I'm going to circle it just so you can see. 1 is actually 2 over 2, 3 over 2, or 3 halves, and then 2 over 2, or 2 is going to be 4 halves. So that's another one of my labeled ones. So I got a half done and I got 4 halves. The next one is 5 halves. And then I have 6 halves. So it's counting by halves the whole way across there because that's the unit I'm working with. Let's take a look at 2. Locate and label the following fractions on the number line. And again, I see all of them have the same unit of thirds, meaning between each whole number, so 2 and 3, I got to break it into thirds. Between 3 and 4, I'm going to break it into thirds. I know that 3 thirds equals 1. So if I double that, I'm at 6 thirds. And that's 2. If I jump once, that's 7 thirds, 8 thirds, 9 thirds, and so on. So 6 thirds is one of my labeled ones. Here's 7 thirds. Here's 8 thirds, which is one of my labeled ones, so I'll put it up above. This is 9 thirds, 10 thirds, 11 thirds, which is one of the ones that's asking me to label, so I'm going to write it up above, and then 12 thirds. There's nothing wrong with labeling the whole number line with thirds, but I'm also showing up above here that I have distinguished these 3 from the other ones because it said locate and label the following fractions. It doesn't say that I can't label all of the spaces down below, and that always helps me out to know that I'm counting by 1/3 each time. So I'm only going up by 1 on the top, but my units are staying the same as thirds on the bottom. Let's take a look at page 2. So for this one, Wayne went on a 4-kilometer hike. He took a break at 4/3 kilometers. He took a drink of water at 10/3 kilometers. Show Wayne's hike on the number line. Include his starting and finishing point and the 2 points where he stopped. So I know his starting point is going to be 0. And again, below, I'm going to write all of my fractions in terms of the unit of thirds to help me out with that. So 0 thirds. And I know that he stops at 4 kilometers. And we'll get to the thirds when we get there. But I want to make sure before I start breaking anything into thirds, because again, that's my unit I'm working with, I want to get my whole numbers on there. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Now between each whole number, so 0 and 1, I'm going to break it into thirds. 1 and 2, I'll break it into thirds. 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4, because that's my units. For every one whole, I break it into thirds. So I'm at 0 thirds right here, and I need to find 4 thirds, so I'm going to jump to 4 thirds. So there's 1/3, 2 thirds, 3 thirds, there's 4 thirds. And I'm going to continue on. 5 thirds, 6 thirds, 7 thirds, 8 thirds, 9 thirds, 10 thirds. And that's where he stopped for water. And I'll keep going. 11 thirds, 12 thirds. And the reason why I'm putting this one on there is that's his stopping point. 0 thirds is his starting point. And then here are his 2 stops. This is his break, and this is his drink. So again, the best way to do this is to break it apart by whole numbers. So I went 0 to 1 and broke it into thirds because that's my units. And then between 1 and 2, I did thirds again. 3 and 4, or 2 and 3, I did thirds again, and then 3 and 4, I did thirds. And then I'm just counting by 1. That's 1/3 right here, 2/3, and so on. So that's how I got to my 4 thirds. It's the fourth mark over from 0. And 10 thirds is the 10th mark over from 0. And you'll use a very similar process down below for number 5. Hope this helps, and good luck on your homework, and thanks for watching.